What's up, you guys? It's your girl Keldamuzik here on Ladies Night, and I have a very talented woman. Very, very talented. I mean, she's on Netflix, she's on Hulu, she's on Amazon. Everyone, please welcome Miss Sara Anders.
Hey.
What is up, Sara?
What's good, girl? Thank you so much for inviting me. I appreciate you. I'm happy to be here.
Yes, thank you so much for coming. Like, when I reached out to you, I was like, she's big time. Does she want to come? Does she? Oh man, let me think about this.
Of course. I'm always happy to share my story. Always happy to help other people if I can. You know, get to where I'm at, like, or whatever. But girl, you big time too. Come on now.
We big time together.
Come on now.
Big time together. Yes. Just when I was introduced to you by a coup.
Yes.
Troy Jackson on Facebook.
Yes. I know. I was like a coup, and then I was like, duh, yes.
Yeah. He was like, you gotta hook up with her. She's doing her thing. Like, you guys gotta talk one day.
He's so funny. You know how I met him? Ooh, he gonna be mad. So I met him because way back in the day, my girlfriend used to date his friend.
Okay.
And so we all went on this little like cute little double date, and that's how I met him. And like fast forward how many years, and then all of a sudden I find out he's in the industry and he's acting, and like we have all these things in common, and so we just linked back up again, like after like 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it was super random.
So this whole time you guys had the same interest and didn't even know it until 10 years later.
Didn't even know it. That's how the universe works. Magic.
Okay, yes, magic. Black magic.
Yes. Black girl magic.
Yes,
Hey.
black girl magic. Yes. So I want to ask you some questions. You
Okay.
know, being in this industry and being in it for so long and accomplishing so many things, a lot of people want to know everything. So how did you get started in acting?
So that's a funny story. I originally was a wardrobe stylist, right?
I can tell.
I can say good.
Yeah.
Try.
Nails too.
My little press-ons, girl, don't play.
They look
Don't
good.
play with the press-ons.
They look good.
I live for the press-ons, honey. We'll tell everybody the secret and the story.
Press on.
I live for the press-on. But yeah, I started as a wardrobe stylist, and then Ephraim Walker, one of the producers of Fruitvale Station, actually gave me my first gig in film. Because I just did like what not to wear type stuff with personal clients. And so then I had my boy Rod Campbell reached out.
Rock Campbell.
RC.
Dope only.
Yes. So we were talking, and I think he's the one that introduced me to Deontay Thompson, who's the director of 100 Blocks, the film that's now
I saw
on
that.
Amazon.
Yes.
Sure you watch it. So I was talking to Deontay about doing wardrobe for the film, and Deontay was like, you're an actress. I was like, huh? He's like, you're an actress. I was like, well, maybe. He was like, check this out. He's like, do this monologue and then come back and audition for this role. So I was like, okay, you know.
Right, you want
Sure.
me to do this? I'll do it.
I'm just trying to be a part of it no matter what it is. Like, it doesn't matter to me. So I was like, okay, so I ended up auditioning, and I ended up landing like one of the supporting lead roles in like this big, huge movie.
Wow.
And that first scene, I'm not gonna spoil it, but the first scene, go watch the movie, is my very first time ever being in front of the camera.
Are you serious?
And it was a serious scene.
How long ago was it?
Okay, so this was, I wanna say it was only like 3.5 years ago. I think that was my second movie, but I could be wrong because I can't remember if Guitar Man came first or if 100 Blocks came first. I need to do my homework on myself.
Look, you too busy with so much. I got so many projects. It's
Right,
hard to keep up.
right. So yeah, Deontay took his first chance on me, and that's how I started acting.
You just fell in love with it after that, like you just couldn't stop.
I feel like I really just like film as a whole, right? I work a lot behind the scenes. I work more behind the camera than I work in front of the camera.
Okay, then I need to talk to you about something.
Yes,
come on.
we can always, I'm here for all of it. Like, I'm here for
yeah.
all of it. So yeah, I definitely, that kind of got me out of my comfort zone. I'm kind of one of those people that says like, fuck fear, right? Like, so if there's something I'm afraid of, I'm gonna dive right in and just be like, "Rawr, here we go, we're gonna do this. So yeah, that's what I did. And then that movie ended up being like, it just busted me wide open because it ended up being really big. So we went to the American Black Film Festival.
Wow, that's big.
Which is huge. And then out of like 10,000 films, we got into competition.
Wow.
So we were one of 4 films.
Yeah.
And so, girl, I lived because I was at the American Black Film Festival. They were like rolling out the red carpet for me. I was at the parties
Media
with like
people waiting to talk to you.
Baby, can I just tell you, like with Issa Rae and with all the whole cast of Queen Sugar, and we're at these private HBO parties. And this was like my first situation. Girl sharing the carpet, red carpet with Spike.
Oh no!
Yeah, if y'all go to my Instagram at Sara Speaks, I am Sara Speaks. You'll see the pictures. Like I was with everybody, and I was like, oh, these are my people.
Yeah.
This is.
I saw on your Instagram too. I don't know if it was that time, but it was. I think it was like an HBO party. I'm not sure, but you had pictures with people with the likes of Terrence Howard. And Morris Chestnut. You know what I mean? Like
girl, Boris Kudrow.
Yeah, Boris Kudrow.
Yes, honey.
You were in the building.
American Black Film Festival. That's all I like. You gotta go.
Was that in LA?
It's in South Beach.
It's in South Beach.
In Miami.
Florida.
Every year it is popping.
Really?
Since that first year I went with 100 blocks, I haven't missed a year. Well, except for COVID, but
yeah.
I haven't.
Virtually now, probably.
Yeah, they did have it virtually, and I did like the virtual party, but yeah, it was like, I mean, D-Nice, like. Like, I mean, just everybody, like, it's people that I still am friends with now.
Yeah.
You know, big actors, like Tim and Durrett on Queen Sugar. Like, that's the homie. Like, I met him, you know, at the American Black Film Festival.
Wow, that's big. And it's funny, it's like when you're in the building, they see you, you're one too. They look at you as you are me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's different.
So there's no egos or nothing like that, you know?
Not with some of them there are.
Okay.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's the way it goes. That's life in general, you know.
Yeah. No, I totally get it. The industry thing, too.
I know.
So, let me ask you, since then, have you had to study a lot of monologues? And if so, do you normally have to remember a lot of them? Well, of course you got to remember, but how many of them do you remember?
Yeah, so I feel like I haven't necessarily had to do a lot of monologues. Usually when I get an audition, they'll just give me sides. So basically, for those of you that don't know, your sides are just part of the script. And so they'll give you the part of the script with your character in it, with somebody else's character. And what they want you to do is they want you to, like, you know, set your camera up and then do these sides or whatever. I don't necessarily think I'm the best at doing this technology thing. I think part of the experience of Sara Anders or Sara Speaks is being in my energy and being in my presence.
Yes.
So, yeah, but they'll send me all kinds of different, my agency will send me all kinds of different auditions. Like this one, they wanted me to like eat cereal with chopsticks.
And you did?
I mean, yeah. But honestly, I mean, I haven't landed anything acting in quite a while. I think the last thing I did acting, and this is embarrassing, was for Apple. I was part of their sexual harassment training video.
And what'd you have to do?
I mean,
act like you were sexually harassed. Like,
I was like,
hey. They're like, wait.
No, they were like, give us more. I was like, this is so embarrassing.
What? You had to do all that? Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was funny, though, because they wanted me to be like the sexual harasser and then like vice versa. It was a growing moment.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That, like, it expands you, right? It makes you more versatile. Like, people could call you for more roles like that. I mean,
yeah, I feel like it just allows you to just get outside of yourself. Like, fuck your head, everything that you have in your mind of who you are and what people think of you. Like, you gotta just let it go.
Yeah.
And just be with it. I had no idea what it was before I kind of, they just hire you. And then you show up and you're like, oh,
this is what it is.
Okay, wow, here we go.
You know what's funny? You mentioned that when I I got called to do this one project. It was in Pleasant Hill. Great production, everything professional, official, whatever. And they told me, I'm going to be interacting with this guy. But they didn't tell me I was going to kiss him, and I had to kiss him. And I had to kiss him in front of everybody. Yeah. And I was like, first of all, I didn't kiss anybody in I don't know how long. And then, it was just weird on the spot. Have you ever, so was that kind of like the same?
I have had a few on-scene kisses, yes,
Okay.
I have, and it is awkward. However, I do love to kiss, so I'm just like, should I just be with the shit on this?
Yeah.
Or should I be
Go
editing
in.
myself? Because, I am a good kisser.
Uh-oh.
So, at this point in time, I don't know what's right. I guess I just be in character, but I'm like, well, shit, if I'm going to kiss somebody, I'm going to kiss.
You gonna kiss, you gonna go in. Wow, with the big lips. And wow.
But I'm a method actor, whatever.
Okay. Yes. So let me ask you this. Are you SAG? If not, do you want to be SAG?
So I'm super excited. I was able to be a part of the new Matrix. Yes, which got me SAG eligible.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool.
So,
that's
but
cool.
that was legit a week before COVID.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
I can get into SAG if I want right now, but obviously why?
Yeah.
Why? It's to me right now, it's not worth the money yet. But yeah, I can definitely join SAG, so I'm SAG eligible. And that's not an easy task. It's the weirdest. Do you know how to get SAG?
I used to when they were separate from SAG and AFTRA. Now I just don't do any of that anymore.
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing. It's I got it from just being an extra. And so what they do is they'll bump you from a regular role to a SAG role. And so, Sorry to Bother You, the movie Sorry to Bother You, I got a SAG role on that. I got a SAG role, I got bumped up. That's what they call it, a bump. You're on set and you're like, pick me. And they did. On 13 Reasons Why. So I believe I was on season 2. And then finally, Matrix comes up and then they bump me up.
So when you're SAG eligible, meaning you could be SAG on that one set for that time, or?
So you have to get these 3 magical golden ticket bumps, where they take you from this rate, to a regular rate, to a SAG job, because they have to have so many SAG people on set. That's part of the union, right?
Right.
So if they don't have enough in the roles that they need, they have to bump people up on set. Yeah, so you actually, it's good because you get paid SAG rate
And
too.
it's choice who they want to bump up to.
Yeah, they literally go, you.
Yeah.
You.
They looked at you and said, yes, you all day, yes.
I was like,
That look.
pick me. And then it was funny because in 13 Reasons Why, I felt like every time I went on set, they kept picking me. And I was like, I can't have 47 jobs on the same TV show. Continuity issues.
Right. They're going to be like, wasn't she the store clerk? And
Yeah.
then what?
So I was a featured waitress, and then I was also a featured photographer. And so I was like, okay, those 2 things make sense, but I don't ever think that they featured me as a waitress.
Okay.
I don't think I ever saw it.
Right, but you still got paid for that as SAG eligible. Yeah.
I still got paid.
Yeah. Because, I
Still got
understand how it
paid.
works, though. I was an extra on Sorry to Bother You when they were filming downtown Oakland.
Yes!
And it was fun. I only filmed that one day. I was like, look, I can't come back and do this. I can't.
It was a lot.
It's a lot. You have to be a really true dedicated artist to that. I take my hat off to anybody who stands on set and is an extra for more than 8 hours. That is some work.
It's not for everybody.
Yeah,
and if you're not with the shit,
Yeah.
you gotta go.
Yeah. And there's people that make big mouth talking people on set. There's people that make big money being an extra or featured or day player. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
can make a living with that.
You definitely can. You can make some cool, you can make some cool money. I think it's what the SAG rate, I think it's 120 or 180 a day. But then they bump you up if you have meal penalties, or if they don't feed you on time, then they have to pay you and keep paying you and keep paying you until they feed you.
Damn.
There's all these different, if there's smoke on set, somebody smoking, you get bumped up rates. There's water on, there's all these different stipulations that will actually bump your pay up.
Yeah. Even you said, when it comes to meals, they'll have all the SAG people here eating all the lavish dinner, and then upstairs you're eating like in the cafeteria type.
That is so. That is so real. And you know what? I always like when I'm in charge of all the shit.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do that because I don't. If anybody knows me on set, they know I treat my celebrity and my PA, which is the production assistant, exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't care. I love everybody. To me, it's all important. I do not like the are you SAG? Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm sorry, you can't eat here. Like, I worked on Crafty for Sorry to Bother You, and I think that was my job to tell people no. But I couldn't tell anybody no. Like, the food looked so good. I mean, I would have snuck
want a
too.
burrito? Here's a burrito.
I would have snuck it in too. But also, on the other end of it, I realized these people really had to work and go through a lot to get to that level.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. So do you think they treat you like on set, hey, you guys are being treated like cattle, go stand over there?
Well, there's literally different rules. So yeah, it's literally they have to treat people differently based on the union, you know?
Yeah.
When you're a union worker, you're protected, so you have more rights. You get paid more, everything. So
and they're paying their dues. As a SAG member, you're paying your dues for that.
Exactly. So, you're also paying into it. So, I mean, it does make sense.
Yeah.
Parts of it.
Definitely. Well, I want to ask you this: how do you feel like as a a black woman in the industry? Like, what struggles have you faced, if any?
Oh, girl, please! Struggles all the time, all the time. I would say that there are some black men on set, but as far as black women go, especially behind the scenes, right? Because I do costumes, I do a lot of stuff behind the scenes. Like right now, I'm producing. I'm assistant directing. I'm doing all these things, and there aren't very many black women at all. And I'm in a lot of spaces in which there is no there aren't black people, and they haven't had black people. So I've been on a set where there's full on. I remember, I almost died. So I'm in San Carlos. We all know about San Carlos.
Yeah.
Okay.
San Carlos.
I'm in San Carlos as a wardrobe assistant. I'm super excited. This is my biggest paying job. I think it was $450 a day. I was with the shit on it for an assistant. Shit. I was like, okay, cool, let's do it. Yeah. So I had got my hotel room and everything out there because it was 2 days. And I show up on set and I'm all excited and I'm nervous. The first time on set is your first day at school. You don't know anybody. And then you're working with these people you just don't know. So I get there and there's this grown ass white man with a afro wig on his head running around and I was like so I was like, okay, now mind you, I didn't know he was part of the set yet, right? So I'm okay, I'm trying to find where I'm going.
Yeah.
And then I meet the costume designer and everything, and we have the pictures of the actors, and we're doing this Game of Thrones spoof. And they are literally, it's a company, right? So this company pays $1 bajillion to make this production for their, what do they call when they bring just everybody together? My mind is going. For their conference, my bad.
Oh, okay.
For their work conference. So they always use the top people, the managers and the CEOs, to play these roles.
Right.
So I didn't know that at this time. I didn't know that. That's the backstory. So they decided to do Game of Thrones.
Okay.
There's one black girl on Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
One. Everybody else is white. You could have picked everybody else. There's one black girl. So I'm I'm super excited. I'm oh, we're gonna do her. And then I see this blonde hair, blue-eyed white woman.
You're what the fuck?
I was wait, because I didn't know what everything was. So I'm wait a minute, you're gonna have her do her? Why? Was there nobody else you could have hired? You couldn't have hired anybody else for this black girl job? Yeah. You hired her? And so I was having very conflicted issues with it, right? And then, they did the blackface on her.
And you were the only black girl there?
You know what was interesting? No. That's the crazy part. Yeah. Because the makeup artist was a brown girl. I honestly can't tell you her ethnicity.
Right.
I cannot.
She was ambiguous.
She was a brown girl. She has some nappy curly hair, honey.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I do know. And she was doing this fake, like when I say it's the most horrendous afro I've ever seen for $3.99 at Amazon.com.
That dry kind, you can't put a comb through it.
I was like, oh. And then they had her in like dark makeup. I was like, oh. And then the killer was when she walked on set, the sound dude was like,
Oh, Karen, it looks like you're ready for your rap video.
Wow. So he associated with a rap video with black music.
so mind you, this was like 3 years ago. Like this was not like in 1982. So I'm just like, I'm like the only, like I said, I'm like the only black person. I'm filling in actually for somebody else.
So are they like, is anyone else like looking at you like?
No, that was the thing. I was talking to the costume designer and I was like, oh my God. Like, thank God he was my outlet, but also like he didn't say anything. Besides like, oh yeah, I get it. Oh yeah, I get it.
A white guy or was he a black guy?
Yeah, he was white. But he like explained to me kind of the CEOs and the stuff like that. So he did explain like a little bit more to me, but I was like, man, that wasn't cool.
That was a surprise for you.
And then the next day, I was really gonna like, I was like debating on whether I should go or not.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know what, I need these chips.
Yeah.
I really,
I feel that.
I needed the chips, y'all.
right.
Starving artist. Don't let the clothes fool you. I was a starving artist.
Yes.
So I literally was like, okay, let me just, the next day I had it like my whole speech prepared. I was just gonna do this monologue all the way at the end, when we're done with everything, and how dare you, and all the shit. And I actually ended up getting an audition.
Okay.
Right in the middle for like this big ass $20,000 commercial.
Woo! Okay.
So I was like, which I didn't land. But anyways, I was
Still,
like,
the idea. You were capable.
I was in the building.
Dude,
They
yes.
picked me.
Yes.
So I had talked to the director, who was a white woman. I had talked to her and I was like, look, like, let me do this, and this, and she actually let me go early. So I wasn't able to do my speech, but it weighed on my heart for so long. I was like, damn, I felt like I was like crooning. You know what I mean? I was like, damn,
yeah,
like,
that's real talk. Yeah.
I was really like, had like some real, like, I couldn't let it go. So I finally sent the woman an email and I told her all my experiences and I told her it was horrible. And I told her like that shit wasn't cool. It was like 3 months later.
That's good.
And she wrote me back and she said she knew it wasn't okay. And she said she was sorry and she should have done something to stop it. But it was kind of like due to time limits and stuff like that. So that's the story.
Wow.
And she's lucky I don't say her name.
Yeah, okay.
See, people don't like you to tell the truth, honey.
Yeah. They don't.
That's why sometimes they don't like me.
You tell them. You need your own show.
I speak my truth.
Yes, Sarah speaks.
Sarah speaks.
Yes.
That's why they call me Sarah speaks.
Yes.
And like, I just feel like this, like at the end of the day, if you don't want the story to be told, do better.
Do better, yeah. It's funny you mentioned that. I was on set one day and this girl, she like, this is a black chick. And I was trying to relate to her, like, oh, hey, sis. I was putting my camera up. Oh, hey, we're on camera. She was like, are you filming me? And I was like, my bad. And she was like, do you know where we're at? You can't be filming. You can't be doing that because hackers might try to come to this house. And then it was funny, the place where we were filming at, it was owned by some white rich folks. And she was like skating around, talking to the owner, like politely, like just straight cooning. And I'm like, this is what really happens on set sometimes.
Like, yeah.
Like just black
They be tap dance.
Yeah. That's exactly what she was doing. She was tapping. Yes. I'm like, oh my God. I don't know if I want to like rip her hair out or just, I don't know. But.
Yeah. No, it's like, I don't know. And like, I'm not guilty, and that's the one thing that, I feel like I struggle with, right? Being biracial, being on both sides of the fence. But I think that the more we're like open and honest about ourselves, our experiences,
Yeah.
you know, the more we can learn and grow from it. Like, I'm not a perfect person. Like I said, in that moment, I was so mad I didn't say something.
Yeah,
I should have said something right in the moment.
Yeah.
Look, this is terrible, you know.
Right.
But I did go back, and that's what I could do to like try to make it better, you know.
But you did it the professional way. Because if you would have did it the other way, they might have labeled you now as the
angry black.
Yeah.
Always the angry black.
Yeah, the black. Got some issues.
I don't know.
No, that's you handle that very professionally.
That fire in me wanted to just cut them heads off. What are you gonna do?
So, I wanted to discuss your new project. It's called THOT.
Yes. So it's capital THOT with a question mark.
Oh, with a question mark.
Yes, and the question mark is very important. So it's called thought.
Yeah.
And I didn't even, truth be told, I had to ask somebody else what a thought was.
I did at one point too. I'm like, what's a thought? Oh,
I know.
that hoe over there. Okay.
That hoe over there, right, right. So it's a short film I'm so excited about. I actually co-wrote this with Jason Johnson.
I saw that.
Yeah, so I'm writing, and it's just this idea that one man's trash is another man's treasure. And it's our way of just expressing this. I'm super excited because I feel like I'm tired of watching black film that gives me PTSD. I just want to see a regular story about love or raising kids or whatever. Like, I just want to like see like black people on the screen without being traumatized.
So like Proud Mary or like the Gabrielle Union film, you want to see like more black films that are kind of similar, like how white people do their films, like just black versions. And not always slave films or hood films or drug films or films about being a rapper or whatever. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. And like, you know, I think that there's so many tropes that we need to, well, for me personally as a filmmaker, I want to stay away from. Like, I always tell people, black is not singular, black is plural, black is everything, it's all inclusive. There are so many different ways, just as white or Latinx or Asian or Indian or whatever, but for whatever reason, like, you know, I feel like black folks are just supposed to be this one thing, and we're supposed to always just ride for each other. We're just always, nah, fuck all that. Like, there's some black people I don't like, and there's some white people I don't like, and there's Asians I don't like, and there's black people I like, and there's Latinx people I like. And shit, if you a shitty person, you a shitty person. If you a hater, you're a hater. If you got an ego, you got an ego. I'm not fucking with you.
Right, that's right. And it's funny, like, I hope 10 years from now people have that same mindset.
Yeah.
It's more about not your sexuality, not your your ethnicity, just you.
Come on.
You know what I mean?
Is it Sunday?
Yeah. Okay, it needs to be.
No, but that's so real, and I think the more creative stories that we see that diversify this idea of what black is, I think that is, you know, that's the key. You know, you don't give a damn about that homeless person that's on the street until you find out what their story is. How did they get there? Like, what's going on? And that's why I love storytelling, because it bridges that gap between people, right? It's like, it's no longer just this person that means nothing. It's like, oh my God, that person's a father. That person, you know, lost their job during COVID and sold everything they had in order to feed their family, and now they're living in a van. It's like, damn, you look at that a lot differently than somebody just holding a sign. So I feel like it's my job as a storyteller to tell, you know, the stories in the way that I see them, the way that they haven't been seen. Like, I'm showcasing a big, tall, handsome black man that's vulnerable, that doesn't have all the shit figured out. He's not, you know, I'm showcasing an older black woman that is not over-sexualized, but confident in her sexuality and who she is, and is not, you know, the bitter black woman either. Like, she's not the bitter old woman. Like, she's still optimistic.
She might be a little bit based off of me.
You know, she might be. I always tell people I fall in love every day and twice on Sunday. So, you know, I think it's really fun to write, to be able to put myself into these stories and just my ideas. Girl, my head just be.
Yeah. Just different film ideas, concepts.
all the time.
So
I
what?
live in a
You
movie.
said what role do you play in this?
So I am like literally everything besides acting. So
Okay.
I'm the producer, one of the producers. I'm assistant directing, casting director. I'm just like I'm basically just bringing all my friends in and being like, I know we don't have money, but can you please?
That's my girl.
Right,
That's
read
why I
this
gotta talk to you.
Like, read this script. Like,
know
what's
one of my
up?
films.
Hey. But that's the thing is, like, I'm with that. You know what I mean? I'm not, like, I feel like nobody has ever given me an opportunity that they weren't already granted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, like, at the end of the day, like, if I believe in it, I'm going to do it. It doesn't matter if it's free or not. I'm going to do it because money always comes when you're walking in your purpose.
That's
like,
right. That's
I
right.
don't, you know, thank God I've never been hungry. I've never not had a roof over my table, over my head. But that's because I treat the people around me like how I want to be treated. And for some reason, that's a little rare these days.
Yeah. People will be walking around with a egotistical mindset.
A lot in film. A lot.
I bet.
And that's what I've been struggling with. And that's why I just realized I got to do this shit on my own. Like, I can't, it doesn't matter if it's a black production. It doesn't matter if it's a white production. Like, if it's a white production, I'm going to deal with racism. If it's a black production, you know, I'm going to deal with all the things that come with a black production, which are usually like not being paid as much and, you know, overworked and, you know, girl.
PPT time.
Well, just not having shit together. And baby, I'm a Virgo, honey. We just, I need shit organized. I need it like this. I need it like that.
Yes.
And I don't mind coming in and like getting stuff together. But it's amazing how many people will hold on so tightly to poor bad habits.
Yeah.
I'm like,
It's
let
just-
me
it's
help you.
unbelievable. Yeah. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
It's unbelievable.
I don't get it.
There, have you heard of Scary Cow?
I haven't.
Oh, you would love Scary Cow. We got to get you in on Scary Cow. It's a nonprofit organization, or I'm sorry, it's a film society in San Francisco. And it's a bunch of filmmakers that propose a new project every quarter. And what you do is a project in front of a people, like about 100, 200 people. You tell them, hey, I'm Sarah Anders. I'm going to do this film. I want to write this and that. This is what I need. I need a gaffer. I need a cinematographer. And all these people come up to you after you're done with your speech. And they say, okay, I want this. I want to do that. What else?
Interesting.
You know what I mean? I want to introduce you to Scary Cow.
Yeah, that's
Because
what's up.
I think you'll really well. Like,
I love that. I'm like, I'm still learning all the parts in film, right? But I've literally, I think what makes me good at what I do is I've worked every single job.
That's so awesome. That is so awesome. And I want to ask you, so you said you were a stylist, so you have your own clothing line, or do you grab from other sources?
So I actually do make my own shirts. I feel like after the murder of George Floyd, I realized, number one, we were all in quarantine and I need to be creative. I'm a very creative person. And so I hosted Antioch's Juneteenth. And my cousin was like, hey, we need some Juneteenth shirts. And she had gave me like this crit cut. And so I was like, okay, well, let me just make some Juneteenth shirts. And I looked, there were no Juneteenth shirts, so I had to create my own design. So I created my own design, made these shirts. It kind of like got lit. So then I started like taking that and making Black Lives Matter shirts and making, and it just kind of transformed. And literally, like, those shirts paid my mortgage, honey.
Look, that's all that fucking matters.
That's it. And then I realized, like, I could go, then they started inviting me to the protest. I was protesting anyways, in the streets with my bullhorn and all the shit. But what I realized is, like, they would start inviting me to the protest, and then I would always give them 10% of my earnings.
Oh.
So then they could, put that back into whoever's organization was doing the protest.
That's right.
So I was able to be creative, to be part of this activism, and also pay my mortgage during COVID.
Oh, pay the mortgage during COVID. Yes, I love
Gotta
it.
be creative.
Yes. Oh my God. So let me ask you, like, who are some of your influences, whether it be in fashion, the film world, music world, whoever?
My influences. I feel like my influences they're so close, right? I feel like Rod Campbell's one of my influences. bosses.
Dr. Rock Campbell.
Yeah,
he
like
was on Diva
RC.
Talk last week. Yeah.
Was he? Okay, that's what's up.
Yes.
I feel like Tracy Ellis Ross, of course, is like fashion.
You remind me of her too.
I live for that. I'm not gonna lie, I do live for that because people always tell me, like people that have worked with her always tell me like you're so much like her.
Yeah, you are. Everything.
Like just your vibe and stuff.
And she's the sexiest woman.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hey now. Yeah, no, I love her.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it's like any like specific person. I feel like I'm just like a mesh of everyone and everything that I come across because it just, it just depends. It's like, my family, even my grandmother, she with the shit, honey. She is.
Okay.
So I have so many great people around me in my village that are constantly inspiring me just in different ways.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. And, like when it comes to family, there's
Yeah.
dad,
Yeah.
behind you with your entertainment career?
I feel like my parents were always like, on the white side of my family, I was the youngest of four. So, when that happens, the fourth kid is just doing whatever the hell it is they're doing. Like, they weren't like super strict on education. Like, neither one of them went to college. So, like, they just kind of were like, whatever. And yes, mom, let me tell you, you will always see mom at every premiere, every fashion show, every film, everything. Even with Guitar Man, like, if she's not with me on set, like legit, then she's with my son watching him so I can go be great. So, like, and she lives in Oregon.
Oh, your son has to go to Oregon? And
she comes down here. She always comes. I'll be like, hey, Ma.
Really
Yeah, and she'll always make it. I think my last premiere, it was my last fashion show, I think, is the only fashion show she's ever missed, or the only thing I've ever done that she's ever missed. And she was, I think she was deathly ill or something, or it was snowing, or, it was something big that kept her from it. But I would say my mother is definitely my biggest
in your
supporter.
corner. Yeah, that's good. That's
oh my
so
God.
good.
Yeah.
That's so good. Yeah.
It's necessary.
Yeah.
Especially as an artist, because I used to work at Napa State Hospital for a long time. I was making hella good money, all the shit, and it just wasn't it. My coworker got murdered. I was like, I'm out.
Hell no.
Yeah, at my job.
At Napa Hospital?
Yeah, Donna Gross, she got murdered. She was a friend of mine. She got murdered by one of my clients. It was just like, I was a mess after that. And I know everybody was like, oh, don't quit that job, don't quit that job. But I couldn't do that. But that's kind of what forced me into this whole world. Like, I didn't know I was a filmmaker.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was a storyteller. Like, I didn't know any of that.
And it's like a fresh breath of air. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
be in this side of the industry.
Yeah.
And meeting all these different cool people.
Oh my God. That's how I know it's just for me. Because I look around and I see so many people like me that I'm not a fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
I'm not a weirdo. Like, I'm kind of normal.
What's one of your most favorite projects that you ever worked on?
Oh my God.
Where it was like, aside from the money being good, but just people, the atmosphere.
I would have to say, Sorry to Bother You.
Okay.
That film, I went.
It's a series, right?
No, film.
Sorry,
the movie.
Oh, I'm thinking of
Blind Spotting.
Yeah. No, I'm thinking of the other one you were in. Series.
13 Reasons.
Yes, I'm thinking 13 Reasons Why. Okay. So Sorry to Bother You, like that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry to Bother You. And this is, first of all, shout out to Boots Riley. I love him.
And that's Omari Hardwick.
Yeah. I did work with Omari too. He see me. We saw each other get at American Black Film Festival. He was like, Sarah! I was like, hey! You know me! Yo! For real. But that movie, like, I went from unpaid background extra to paid background extra to like PA, like a crafty PA, and then ahead of the whole craft department by the time the show was over. Wow. So I literally, like, the line producer, I love you, I think it was Chris, I love you, Chris. The line producer, he like wanted to kill me because the line producer's job is to make sure that everybody is in their job and not doing anything else. That's their job for liability.
Yeah.
So I think he fired me like 3 times. What? He had to, though. That was his job. He was like, no, you can't do this. You're supposed to be here. No, you can't do this. You're supposed to be here. I'm like,
it's like we place them here.
yeah, and I'm like, hey, like, look, I'm just here for all of it. So whatever you need me to do, I'm here for it. And so that was really, that just kind of, I mean, I just did everything in that show. It was a lot.
Yeah.
And Boots Riley, shout out to him again as well. He's actually the one that gave me Final Draft to write my own film.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you said you, how did you become so well connected in a way like this?
So my father is from Vallejo.
Oh.
Yes. So I met my father when I was 15 at a high school football game.
Okay.
Woke up one day, didn't know him, went to sleep that night, knew him. And, you know, I always wanted to connect with the other side of my family. Like, I always wanted, girl, I used to write Oprah. You remember when Oprah was taking all them letters? I used to write her, Oprah, I want to be my daddy.
Yeah.
Oprah, I want to be my daddy. I mean, Oprah never took my letter, but whatever.
Oprah. Look, Dr. Phil will take it.
She gonna take my call later. She gonna take my call later.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I really just wanted to connect to the culture down here, but also like Oregon's hella racist. Like, let's just be real about it. Like, they wouldn't pump gas for me. You know, oh, we don't have any more gas. Like, I went through so much racism up
Quick
there.
to turn you off. Like,
I just wanted to be like away from all of it and go into something new and something different where I wasn't like the only black person.
Yeah.
So I kind of ran away from that, which I'm glad I did. I love the Bay. I love the culture. I love the people. It's just more my speed. Like, once again, I've always been like this.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just my skin and my hair that set me apart up in Oregon. That was the least thing about me.
No.
Yeah.
You're like a trendsetter. Like,
Thank you.
head to toe, you guys. Like,
And all that's going to be in the book. I am writing a book too.
I was gonna ask you, what was it? Intelligence?
Oh, yes. I'm featured in DB Bedford's book, Black Intelligence.
Yes. So you have a conversation in
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
so excited. DB, man, that's the homie too. He's another inspirational person in my life. There's just so many. I love the Bay. I love Oakland.
Yes.
But yeah, so we were talking about my upbringing and what it was like, you know, being in an all-white family in an all-white town, and like kind of how I navigated that situation. And he and used, you know, Black intelligence. Like, it's different when you're in these spaces and people are coming at you in this different way and you're just never quite ready for it.
Yeah.
Like, you're always just like, especially me being half white and raised, literally I was raised as a white woman because that's all my mother ever knew. Like, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm like, now wait a minute, are you sure? Well, maybe they just were doing, and maybe this and maybe that. And it's like, maybe not.
Right.
So yeah, it's a great, oh my God. Have you read it?
No, but I saw that it was released.
Yes.
And you had like
just now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah, you're not behind. Don't worry. Don't worry.
I can get it on what, Amazon?
You know what? I believe it's on DB's website. He's on Instagram at I Never Worry. It's maybe also at Black Intelligence 2020 on Instagram.
Okay.
I want to say his website is I Never Worry as well.
Okay.
But I'm not positive. But I think you can just probably Google the book Black Intelligence.
Okay.
It should come up because I think it's the only one like that. But it's great. It's like a lot of people's different stories in there. You know,
What is it explaining about when it comes from each person's perspective?
well, he always says, because he started doing emotional intelligence, right? And he always says, like, when emotions are high, logic is low. And it's just about really navigating life. You know, shit fucking happens all the time.
Yeah.
That, like, can send you into this moment that could cost you the rest of your life. Like, it's just real.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it's just all about, like, navigating life and being able to, yeah, you can still feel it, but don't act in those feelings. Mm-hmm. And so it's just kind of like what emotional intelligence is for you and how you utilize it in your life, and it gives you skills, and it's just a different way of looking at things. But I'm telling you, that shit, that book, I think it's his third book. That has kept me from jail, for sure. That's kept me from a lot. Yeah, because in the moment, I'll just be like I was just at this restaurant in Benicia, and
I was reading about that on your Facebook, and someone threw some ice or something like
They
that.
threw, like, these grown ass people threw ice at my table. I was literally sitting there.
Were they other customers?
Yeah, they were, and they were hella far away from me. So they were like, you know, it's COVID, so there's like 6 feet here. They were up a whole nother tier and over there. And so I'm like sitting at the table, I'm talking to the waitress. I didn't even have any interaction with these people at all.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, like, some shit comes flying at me, and the waitress jumped. And, I mean, I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, it was just, you felt some feeling.
Yeah, it just like came like this. And I was like, what was that?
Yeah.
And then there's this dude, this older white man that's standing at the end of the table. They're all like bikered up with like chaps and shit. And he's like, don't worry, she won't hit you.
What?
That was his response. So I was like, whoa, what was that? Like, I'm like, I was there by myself. I was enjoying my little shrimp salad, girl. I was in my zone with my little virgin mojito, honey. I was living my best life. And then I was like, I didn't know what else to say back. So I was like, don't worry, I hit back. Like, motherfucker, what? Don't let the lipstick fool you.
Yeah.
And it was just like this whole ordeal. And it was just like, it was really, girl, it was like really crazy. But it was like, in that moment, I could have just thrown shit back at them, right? And what would have happened?
And yeah.
Possibly murdered. Like, go ahead and be fucking real about the shit.
Be real with it.
Because they,
Be real with it.
and there was like 8 to 10 of them, and there was only 1 of me. And
all biker dudes?
they were all like biker. There was like two chicks. There was a few ladies there. There was like a younger chick, and then there was like this older white dude. Like, I just really just tried to stay up out of their conversation, because even before all this shit happened, I heard him talking about Uncle Ben.
Talking about Uncle Ben. Wow. What?
I was like, I just noticed it. I heard it, and I was like, okay.
You said it was Benicia, right? So, remember, they had the Black Lives Matter there, and black people came there, scraped it up, they fucked it up. And I think they erased it, the city decided to remove it overall because there was just too many racist white people coming, like, fucking it up.
It's sad. And then this lady like told me, like, she's actually, I mean, so many people saw that video. Like, I made a video about the shit. The restaurant didn't even do anything. The restaurant never kicked them out. They never said anything. They never did anything. They never even went to the table and asked them. The waitress was standing right at my table when this shit happened. Like, her back was turned to them, but she literally was like, oh, I didn't see it, so I can't do anything. And I was like, I would have at least went to their table and been like, what the fuck is going on? What y'all got popping? You know, like, how, you thought that was okay? So once the video went viral, well, I wouldn't say viral, but it was like 12,000 hits on it.
I want to see the video.
Oh yeah, like it's on my Instagram.
Okay.
At I am Sara Speaks, no H, just SARA. You'll see it, like, you'll see my face in the video. I'm like this. Like, every other video, I'm like, hey. And then this video, I like tell the story of what happened. It was right after it happened, so I was in my feelings, and that went viral. And then the next day, like at noon, the manager like reached out to me. She did an apology. She said, I'm gonna do an official apology, yada yada, because they got so many hits. Like, everybody was like, fuck Luca's Bar and Grill. And I told her, I said, listen, I'm all about redemption, y'all. I'm not really like horrible. But I said, the most important thing I need you to do is to kill this false narrative. So the people at the table literally said they accidentally spilled the drink.
Accidentally spilled the drink, but yet it was forced with ice being thrown.
And I was like,
you felt
15 feet away from him. I was so
hella far.
I was
in. No.
Correct. And I had the video. So I said, ma'am, I said, you need to go look at the videos and you'll see what I'm saying. It's literally due to gravity, this little thing called gravity. I don't know if you've heard of it. But legit, like, due to gravity, like, it's impossible for their narrative to be true.
Yeah.
So I made it very clear. I need you to kill this false narrative so the narrative of what really is happening can live on.
Exactly.
So I'm not the angry black woman.
Exactly.
So I don't have all these trolls, all this bullshit.
That's right.
Now, did she do it?
No, she didn't.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. So I let it all live, and I let it all ride, and I saw their fake-ass apology, and I was like, nah, underneath the apology. I did talk to the Benicia Police Department, and I talked to the NAACP. Don't play with me. But honestly, there wasn't really anything that they could do on either side.
No like results, like no marks.
I guess they were like, based on what they had talked to everybody about, they were all basically like saying that this story was true. And I talked to the officer. I said, officer, there's no fucking way that this is even possible.
Yeah.
You know, there's just not. So basically the NAACP took it down. So what I'm happy about is that there was a report that was made with both parties. And so if some shit like that happens again, then there can be a lawsuit or something like that, because now it's a second offense.
Against the bar and grill.
Against the bar and grill, but also against these people or whatever, I guess. I don't know. It was all some weirdo shit. It was like really, really extra weird. Because at first the restaurant owner told me they spilled a drink. And then the story changed when the police officer got the story. The police officer told me they brushed some ice off the table in my direction. But wait, this is a table like this, right? It's a picnic table. It's full on either side. How the hell are you gonna brush some ice and it goes up and over somebody's body and moves 20 feet?
And you're like, you're way over there.
I mean,
that's you know what it is.
And I had to let it go. They did send me a $100 gift card. And I knew I wasn't going back to that restaurant, so I knew I wanted to give
it. It doesn't matter. It's like, what if I would have got my eye poked with a sharp piece of ice? You know what I mean?
It's just blatant.
I had to go to the hospital.
Didn't nobody give a damn. That was it. It was just like, okay. So yeah, they were like, they sent me a $100 gift card in which I gifted to an unhoused person. So I was like, I ain't going back to this shit.
Right.
I told them, I was like,
coming back.
Enjoy this $100 gift card on me, honey. And I hope they did. I really do hope that they made it to the restaurant.
That's the same shit I would have done. Fuck you guys. I'm not coming back.
$100.
Wow. That's crazy.
She could have made it right with the apology, though. She would have done the apology right. I really would have made another video and said, look, she did what I asked. You know, I know all y'all are mad. Like, and the owner never contacted me. Never once. Never once.
You said it was in Martinez?
No, in Benicia. Yeah.
Yeah, Benicia Martinez. I would.
Apparently, Benicia's known for that.
Yeah, I would expect that from them. I'm so sorry you
had
to go through that.
You know, sometimes I get tired of being a queen. That's real shit, though. That's real shit. It's like, why is it always me? You know. But then I realized, like, it's not just always me. But also, I realized, like, this is what I'm here for. Yeah. I'm here to live to tell the tale.
Yeah, you're here to speak, to live and speak.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
So hopefully the next black woman that goes to that restaurant will now be safer.
Yeah.
They might take
still
the
around
shit a little
after
bit.
this.
They're going to take the shit a little bit more seriously.
Right. Good. Okay. Well, Sarah, I just want to wrap things up with you. Are there any last words you'd like to say regarding your career, anyone else's career, anything?
I would just say, don't believe what anybody tells you. Everybody told me I can only do one thing in film. I'm doing every fucking job in film that you could ever think of, and that's what makes me great. So whatever it is that you can do, don't let somebody tell you that you can't. That's like really. And also, like, if you are the person that they're looking for, you are the only one that they will find. Being an actor is a motherfucker, okay? There you're gonna hear a lot of no's. But once you're it, you're it. What's for you is for you no matter what anybody else says. So allow yourself to shift and to move and to take on opportunities that'll grow you, and it'll all be beneficial.
Well said. Well said, you guys. Oh my God, and where can people find you?
Yes, you can find me at I Am Sara Speaks on Instagram. I think you can find me Sara Speaks on Facebook. I'm back on Facebook now. I think Sarah Anders might be filled up.
Okay.
LinkedIn, I think I'm Sarah Anders or Sara Speaks somewhere. You can check me out on IMDb to see all the projects that I've done under Sarah Anders. But yeah, mostly Instagram.
And Sarah is spelled S-A-R-A.
Yes, no H. I always tell people my mama did not have asthma. It's not Sarah. It's just Sarah.
It's just Sarah.
Just Sarah. Sorry, Sarah's with the H.
No offense to y'all, you know.
Right, no offense to y'all. And definitely inbox me and ask me questions. Like, I'm all about helping people get to where they need to be. Like, I believe that we're all here for a purpose, and if film is your purpose, holla at your girl.
Holla at your girl. All right, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Ladies Night with Kelly, Sara Anders. We had a lovely, lovely conversation. You guys know where to find her. Produced by Cut It Up Music, DJ May.
Hey,
Race the Tablist. See y'all later.
thank you, mamas. Mwah, 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 mwah.